Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, leave your comments, thoughts, feelings. And as Chris McDonough himself said on his live stream, guys, if you don't have anything constructive to say, or um, let's keep it classy, like he says. I, at no point in time, bashed Chris. I never said he did a bad job. I didn't say he was wrong. I said that I was disappointed. And you can be disappointed and disagree with somebody's outlook and that not be the same as disliking them. Not once did I say I disliked the man. I just disagree with his outlook on a few things. Now, as far as the the way I look at the pain medication point of view that he had put out there, and the receipts for the candy, and the name, the 5 aliases that Grandus supposedly had, um, I put my thoughts out there about that. That doesn't mean that what he's saying is wrong, or that his information is wrong, or that him reporting on it is wrong. I was just stating that, in my opinion, when you put something out there, you should always put every side to the story, I guess would be the best way to try to describe it. You can't just say that when someone takes medication, pain medication, that they're basically laid out, that they would be immobile because, they're so sleepy or out of it or whatever you want to call it, that they couldn't do something. You need to put out there that that is in the case of some people. On other people, medication reacts totally different. And it also has two different effects if you are a new patient that is starting to take medication, or if you've been taking it for years. That's the only reason that I put that out there. There are people who know nothing about pain medication or the reaction it has on the body. And I was just trying to get it out there that it's not necessarily true that she would not have been able to walk through those paths and stuff, or even felt like going because she had taken the medication. That's not true. For a lot of people, taking the medication would give them the energy and feeling well enough to actually go and do these things. So for all the haters that, came across, I appreciate you commenting, because it always helps the algorithm of YouTube. But, next time, let's stop jumping to conclusions, as in saying that I dislike Chris or that I'm bashing him, because I wasn't. And I don't believe anywhere in there you can find me saying anything bad about Chris. If you've watched my channel for a while, you will know that I disagree with people bashing other creators. Because for one, we are all content creators, and you just don't stab your own kind in the back like that. You just don't do it. I mean, come on, guys. If you've not heard me say anything bad about BK, then I doubt you would hear me say anything bad about Chris McDonough. Okay? Now, but as far as disagreeing with Chris, I would like to point out that I'm sure, and I know that Chris says that he has lived, I believe it was in North Carolina. He stayed for a little bit of time here in Tennessee at some point, if I'm not mistaken. That's what he said. Excuse me. Okay, he has stayed here somewhere in Tennessee for a little while. He lived in North Carolina, so I'm sure he is used to the Appalachian Mountains. But Chris evidently, from what I understand, has lived his majority of his life in California. And when he spoke of the 6 minutes that police have to respond to a 911 call, I'm sure that is true in a bigger city, or even like in Rogersville. You know, Rogersville is not a very big place, and the city police probably do have maybe a 6 minute respond time. But Hawkins County is a fairly large place. And I'm not going to quote the exact time, but I will state that I recall that Hawkins County law enforcement themselves stated that it took them right around 20, 30 minutes to actually respond to that 911 call. Because if you all will remember, the call was made at 6:28. Law enforcement did not arrive on the scene until 7 o'clock. So for Chris to state that there should have been a 6 minute respond time, not so much in the hills of East Tennessee with the curvy roads. And first of all, it's so far out. Come on, guys, it takes us more than 6 minutes to get to the grocery store. There's no way you could expect, if a cop is halfway across the county, and we all know they're short of police officers, the last few years. If a police officer is halfway across the county, there's no possible way for him to respond to a 911 call in 6 minutes. So for like downtown Rogersville or downtown in a big city, 6 minutes, yeah, they probably beat that at nothing. I mean, they probably respond in a 3 minute time period. But when you live way out in the country with the curvy roads and, the hillsides that drop off to nothing, and you have to be cautious about how fast you're driving, 6 minutes is not possible. I mean, unless you're like literally right down the road when you receive the 911 call. I mean, folks, we're talking like the city I live in right now, and I'm almost positive Hawkins County, they might have it, but I doubt it. We don't even have a Lyft or Uber. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that there are things that Chris says that I guess in general may apply to most areas, but unless you live right here in East Tennessee, you can't exactly apply them to every area here. Um, Maybe I'm over explaining things, but like people can't understand when it snows here in East Tennessee and the schools are canceled for a few days instead of like just one day, whereas in Ohio or Denver, it snows there and kids still go to school. Here, kids do not go to school, and it's not because of the snow, but it's because of the terrain. Whereas up in the mountains, it may still be iced over on the roads. Whereas down in town, the sun is shining and it might be 70 degrees. In the mountains where the buses have to run, it's too treacherous and dangerous for the buses to run with children in them. So they cancel the whole county because you can't just pinpoint this school, that school, or this area or that area for kids to go to school in. So, like, I'm just saying that unless you live here, you can't assume to know exactly how life is here. So, for Chris to make the assumption that just because Grandus was taking the pain medication, she was not mobile or shouldn't have been mobile is not correct. For Chris, and as far as the candy and the receipts go, guys, plain and simple, more than likely that peppermint candy Grandis kept in her camper like most older people do for upset stomachs, for a cough. There's lots of medicinal purposes for peppermint candy. And if you'll notice, most older people have it in their house. And when the grandkids come over, because that's normally what the older people have in their house, then that's what they will hand the grandkids. Yes, she had Skittles in the car. and kids love Skittles. But when there's not Skittles at Grandma's house and all Grandma has is peppermint candy, then that's what the kids will eat. So you cannot determine what kind of candy a child will eat. Um, the names, her aliases, yes, she may have had them. Who knows? She may be, a serial, what, and we would never know it. But it may just be a simple fact of maybe she was a victim of DV herself, and she was changing her name to try to stay one step ahead. I'm not saying Grandus is guilty or not guilty. I'm just saying that before people can try to assume or, what would be the word I'm looking for? Insinuate that she is guilty because of this reason or that reason, they really need to take in all aspects. And just like with the knee injury, her knee injury happened years ago, from what I understand. Yes, they were in Gatlinburg. The boys tripped over her leg, her knee, and it agitated the injury. I think that it was irresponsible of Chris, and this is allegedly, this is just the way I understood what he was saying. I think it was irresponsible of him to try to insinuate that maybe Grandus was out for revenge because she was so upset about how the boys had injured her knee. The boys did not injure her knee. Her knee was already injured. And they were being kids and rambunctious. I'm almost positive that they did not just walk up and kick Grandus in the knee and then laugh and say, ha ha ha, see what we did to you? Come on. So why would she have a need for any kind of revenge or anger towards the children, period? That part I don't get, I don't agree with. Um, it's, I don't know. I guess to get more into it, you guys will just have to jump in. And this evening at 6 o'clock, Common Sense True Crime and I will be discussing this because we both see both sides of the coin when it comes to that live stream and what Chris was trying to put out there or what he was trying to say. And so we're going to civilly debate it. It's technically not a debate, it's going to be a discussion between friends who see both sides of the coin. So I hope you guys join us tonight. There will be nobody else on panel, just me and her. It will last for 1 hour because at 7 o'clock we're going to go live and we're going to do the story about Jen and let Jen tell us how she got interested in the Summerwells case and what her life was like before the Summerwells case happened. So I hope to see all of you there tonight. I don't know if this explains anything, not that I have to explain anything, but I do not want people believing that I'm out here just bashing creators or condemning them or, saying anything bad about people. I do not do that. You all know I do not do that. But I also want to make sure that all the facts are heard and not just the ones that pinpoint to a certain person when it's, convenient. That's all I've got to say on that. I'll also this evening on the live with Holly, Common Sense True Crime, I received a comment on that video yesterday, and I would like to read it off. And it has some information in it. It could be alleged. I don't know. I've not spoke with the person, but the person has put it out there, and I think you guys will want to hear it. Just stay tuned. Come in, stay tuned at 6 o'clock, and then come back at 7 and hear what Jen has to say also. Until this evening, guys, Pray for Summer, pray for the case, pray for all the investigators and law enforcement that are working on this case. Pray for all the content creators to do right by Summer and do right by this case, no matter who they are. Pray that God is holding their hand and holding them accountable to do and say the right thing. And we'll see you this evening, guys.